Okay, guys. Good morning. For those of you that have gathered already. So, apparently the cat has gathered as well. So, we have a lot of interesting news. We can talk about that first. Which might affect us is that new 90-day pause on China for all the tariffs. So, I'm expecting that NVIDIA, AMD, some of the other chip stocks, and probably a lot of stocks that I don't watch, are going to go up based on that news. So I think I'm long biased on the overall market. Obviously, there'll be some individual things. The other news was that Musk is threatening to sue Apple because it's not putting the Grok and its other apps prominently enough, and it's sort of talking about antitrust. I don't know if that's real. It's not a lawsuit yet, but somebody with Trump's money, with Musk's money coming after you, even if you're Apple, it might cause investors to be concerned. So Apple's a crapshoot. I don't know. It already was starting to come down a little bit, but yet the guidance on it is like it's going to do really well in the next, couple of quarters, next year even. It's just got nothing but net, so to speak. So I don't know. It's hard to read Apple, but I think NVIDIA and AMD should go up today generally. If you're looking to do a long play and just hold it, you're probably pretty safe. I just keep your share size low and remember your max loss and remember you take your own trades. It says there's a news story here. It says broader sentiment in mega cap tech will be swayed by inflation data. That is the CPI reports. Let me go back up here. But now Trump has kind of ruined us from following that because he's called them all into question. So that kind of, I'm sure that's on purpose. It's another controlling kind of thing he does. But it's just unfortunate that it could affect us because we can't. Why I say that is we could expect, whether the data is true or not, okay? Let's assume it's hard to fudge, but at the same time, there's a lot of data people aren't getting, and it can be read a certain way, maybe not with the intent to be political. So, it's nothing I've ever questioned or even thought about. So I suppose he could be onto something there. I don't know. But here's what bothers me is that now everybody else can't depend on it. So now when a report came out, we could pretty much see which way, we could understand which way the market might go based on the report. And now there's going to be so many people that don't believe the report that now it's just like, how are we going to be able to determine it to help us trade a stock or a group of stocks or whatever? It's not as strong. We can't do it now. We can't, so I don't trust it as much. Whatever comes out, it may act just like it was acting, and the stocks might move just like they should, but can't trust it now because of what happened. So all that indecisiveness that that Trump puts out really hurts us traders, So we can take advantage of the big moves like the 90-day pause, but it's so hard to reconfigure the market now based on the new political the new political moves in the office. I'm trying to keep up with it, but all the stuff that you could, for the most part, depend on, you can't seem to depend on anymore. So that's the part that bothers me. Just if I were to judge the political problems, that's basically it on the news. So obviously there's a lot more news. I have Charlie compile things that are based on large mega cap or SPY or the QQQ, the overall sentiment of the market, because it's the large and mega caps that move the market. So if we're going to be trading those, then I just kind of want to know what biased. That's the purpose of me. So I'm bringing you in on my process of what I do every morning, and that is I get an overall feel, and then I keep the news up over here as per stock I'm trading, and then I get it, I get that overall feel, and then I keep watching just in case. And then I get into marking the levels, of what may be respected historical data. That's all, what may be. And that's what we do. And with that, as you've seen from time and time again, that comes in very handy to know that. Now, I've been reading a lot of the emails and comments. So we're going to keep things pretty much the same for this month, how I'm trading. However, I will make one, and we're going to do things differently next month. Here's where we're at right now. I did end up making $513 yesterday. It's a pretty good month for this strategy right now. It's not averaging $500 a day was supposed to be the top of it, so it's not quite there, is it? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we're not quite there. We're $255 less than $500 a day, but the minimum was $150 a day to make every day, and we're way over that. And every day has been green, and that in itself is great. So if you guys have been managing to follow along, hopefully you're all doing good. I do a lot of this trading after I turn off at 10:15 or 10:20, but I keep the same strategy. I jump back in for a half hour to an hour with some of the people here and back on this account and try to get this up to the goal, because it's really hard to get the high end goal in a half hour to 45 minutes, especially when I'm trading the first half hour of the open, where it's a consolidating strategy and nothing's consolidating. So you're really, if you sense me being tentative, that's why I really have a very hard time calling a consolidation strategy when a stock isn't consolidating, right? It's just that simple. Now, I could trade the open strategy, which people are suggesting I do, and I probably will trade an open strategy coming up in the coming months of live streaming with you from the Day Trading Volume 4, one of those open strategies. I've been starting to mark the breakout levels down so we can just see what would have happened on them. And I do think that is a way to consistently make money, even if you're not trading along with me, is to do one of those breakout strategies in Day Trade in Volume 4. Around here, they call it printing money, but you have to control yourself because trading the open is really, really risky. The real open, they don't recommend doing the first candle like I've been doing. But some of the other things we're going to be doing, I'm going to be calling it out, because the emails I've been getting is I can't trade that share size even though I've made the PDT rule. So here's the deal. We're going to change it, right? So every stock I pull up, I'm going to mention what you should be able to trade if you had your 25,000 minimum. If you have not made the PDT rule, you should not even attempt to trade this strategy. I mean, you could try to take some trades based on what I might be calling. Again, up to you, your own due diligence on the stocks. And maybe take 1 trade, 3 trades a week, 4 trades a week, and look for the best setup. I'm not really calling out the best setup because I'm just trading. I'm calling out what I see. So there's a way to trade along. There's certainly a way to use the same strategies, support and resistance, Fibonacci levels, look at your bias, and then take a trade and hold it longer and look for a bigger move. So when I say that the stock market is biased a certain direction and then I call out stocks, that would be my best idea for you to take a trade, like on NVIDIA or AMD today. If you haven't made the PDT rule, and just ride that, and you're not taking multiple trades because it won't let you take multiple trades. But also at the same time, I'm trading large cap stocks. So how many shares can you really have if you haven't made the PDT rule? You're not margining. So what can you have? 5 shares, 10 shares? I don't know. Not many. So for you guys that haven't made that, it's probably much better to take this strategy for a run with small cap and mid cap. You do the same strategy, but then do it where you can carry more share size on a cheaper stock. So I'm not trading those. I'm trading specifically large cap, mega cap. That's what we do here on this channel. It doesn't mean the strategy can't be taken elsewhere. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to assume you have $25,000 in your account and you can margin up to $100,000. If that's who I'm mostly talking to. It doesn't mean I don't care about the rest of you, which I get these comments, emails. Of course, I want everybody to do. I'm not anti-success for all people. If you've watched any of me over the years, you know that I do actually really care about how you do. But I'm picking a strategy in a way of trading for the people that have made the PDT, which I really always have done from the beginning of this channel. So I do think there's a way you can adapt. I won't beat that up, but that's what I have here. So calling me out on that, I'm not going to change my trading so that every person that hasn't made the PDT can trade along with me. You can still trade along with me, just different share size, or maybe you want a different stock and use the same strategy. So there's that. But what I will be doing for the PDT, because, I have gone over that level for sure. You've watched me trade. So I'm not going to do that anymore. That's the one thing I'm going to change. I'm going to assume my account's going to be set at no more than $25,000 or $100,000 margin. That's all you're going to see me trade for the end of the month, unless I make a mistake. I didn't actually drain any account down to that level because I think I can set the share size and stick to it, hopefully. So that being said, we're going to get into marking out some of the stocks. I will call out each stock what the maximum share size you should expect to trade at your maximum, and what your 25% entry is if you're following those trading rules that I set for myself. If you're trying to follow along with that, I'm going to now call out that share size to make it easier for you, so you don't have to get on your calculator or whatever, which I just did this morning already for you. I looked at every stock, took the basic price, rounded down, so there was just no question you could carry the share size. And I have it on a Post-it note right in front of me, so I don't even have to listen to Charlie. So anyway, so we're doing pretty good. Now let's get into it. Remember, guys, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Please seek the advice of somebody licensed before you try to emulate any of this trading style. Only trade with money you can afford to lose. Trading is risky. You need to be really careful and practice in a simulator first. This is briefly my, oops, that's not what I wanted to do here. This is briefly my strategy that I follow. Okay. So, but you guys need to do whatever you follow. This is what I follow, and you stick to max loss. But I only enter 25% of my position. So I will be calling out that just in case I want to add to half. I rarely would go to full position, but sometimes I will do that depending on the movement and price action of the stock. Okay, so our number one, if we go to the scanner, now this is the special scanner that I have coded. Oh, this is not the special scanner that I have coded. This is not, let me get the right one here. That is this one. This is available over at the $1 Million Margin Club for $4.99, and I put in these codes for it that are not up here still. I got to get this straightened out before I start up here. There we go. So this will, if you were to get it there, you get these. So 100,000 in volume minimum on a 1 minute candle, and then and that's over a 10-day period. This is over a 1-day period, and this is today. So you want to have it that price action. If you guys were watching yesterday, you saw me go to the ETF for Bitcoin, IBIT, and it had the volatility, right? But then when we went there and we looked at, like, let's just say a price of $10 on the bid, and then the ask was $10.01. And then you have the numbers of shares next to it, like, 500 or 100 or 2,000 or whatever the numbers, right? And then you're looking at that price action, right? And all the volatility is going in there. So it's moving, but it's moving like 1 penny, 2 penny, 1 penny, 2 penny. And I looked at it for just a 10 to 30 seconds, and I saw that I would have to increase my share size to like 500 to 1,000 shares, and which may or may not get filled or partial, right? Partial fills. And then at the same time, how long do I wait to make any kind of money? And I'm timed with you guys to get out of this pretty quickly. So I determined immediately it was not something I could trade. So for this type of strategy in this type of time frame. I mean, everything changes, right, depending on how you're trading, but what you're doing exactly. But the first thing I would look to on the scanner would be, is it easy to borrow? Because I want to be able to go long and short. That may not matter to you if you're just trading in your IRA or whatever you're doing. I'd want to make sure. I'll look at the percentage from the high all the time, but I'll look at the ATR and make sure it's a decent level that it can move, how many dollars it average moves over a 14-day period. And then I will look at this volume and make sure that it is meeting those guidelines. So we don't have to worry about, share size, the float. And we do want to make sure it wouldn't even be up here if it didn't meet the market cap, minimum of 25 billion market cap. But we don't care about the float like momentum, how many times it's going to roll over, how quickly. In fact, it's opposite of that because we want a consolidating stock. So if you haven't picked up the scanner, you should get it. There's one over there that also does just 50,000 volume. So I coded these in for a reason because this is stuff that I could just look at myself. But now it's got the scanner and it's going to pick them up really quick for you guys. So we're going to start off with the number one up. So I have it detached from my watch list here. So we're going to start off with the first one, which is NVIDIA here, and just get a look at what we're doing here. So it's already, wow, it went straight up and straight down. When I looked earlier today, it was only the upward move. So does it have more news on it? That could be a negative story, but not really. It's interesting, right? I would remain long biased on this for sure throughout the day, but let's get the levels marked before we're trading, before we even know what's going on here. So there's your 2-day fib. Yeah, that would change, so we're going to have to change that. Would that be our 10-day fib? No, there's our 10-day fib. So that's still accurate. The 2-day fib is not accurate anymore. So let's get on the new. Now I have this so I don't have to no guesswork anymore. So, yeah, it is. It is accurate. Look at that, 2-day fib. So still, it's slightly off right here. 179.03. So we straighten that out. Now let's look at our levels here. I want to open the 10-day on that and just see if this historical data is worthy at all. Now, historical data is where the stock has stopped abruptly and turned around. We've got that level marked. Don't really have that level marked right there. It's so close to the fib, though, that before I zoom in over there, let me see if we're missing anything big here. And we really wouldn't have because I would have marked them already. So, wow, look at how the fib's respected, guys. Look at that. That's why, the 10-day, 5-minute, a lot of data in the 10-day, the 2-day. This is the 2-day, 5-minute. A lot of back testing to get these levels, see how it just keeps respecting them. So you want to watch these. You want to mark them and watch them. Now, the breakout's not the same anymore in the 30 minutes, so we're going to want to change that. But I'm just going to zoom in right here and just make sure this area doesn't have a real screaming level to mark here. I mean, maybe there, but not really. Well, it did pick it up over there a little bit. I suppose if I smoothed across look at it pick it up over here too. Yeah, so that level ends up being maybe something to watch. Let's look at the 30-minute breakout there, which is my favorite breakout for this. Not a big mess when you trade it on a 1-minute chart, for those of you that are saying, it's a huge mess. What are you doing? So this would be our 9 o'clock. 8:30 to 9 right here. So this would be the last one, right? Yeah, 9. Yeah, because this is moving still. Yeah, so this is the one. So our high, our close of that is 183.33. There's our new breakout level there. The open of this was 182.41. So I'm looking up here, guys, where it says the open and the close. So 182.41. Here it is right here somewhere. Now, if you don't know what I'm doing, this is based on a breakout strategy from Day Trading Volume 4. And let's see how those look today. So if you trade that strategy, it's telling you exactly what to do by those two levels. You're only supposed to go short below it, long above it, never trade in between them, and then you have profit and pivot levels to take your profit. This is a highly recognized used strategy, but there are 3 others in that book, so I would recommend looking at those. All right, let's go. Hood is number 2 here, which is interesting. And that's let's see, I'm just reading anything here that's interesting here. Now I didn't mark this out yesterday because of the way it was just going straight up, but I think I am going to mark it today. I don't know. I don't think I don't normally trade this stock. I think I like the bigger ones, but we'll keep it here just in case. Doesn't want me to be exact, so that's good enough. If I was going to do a level, I'd probably do that one. If I was to trade it. Yeah, I gotta hit that too. That's just too many taps right there. So that's something to look at. Kind of veered off the fib down there. You could get it over here too. Okay, so that's that one. I don't know if any of those are going to be respected. I like to do the intraday ones, obviously. I'm not going to do a breakout on that. So then we go down to Tesla, which I've been doing really well with lately, scalping. So NVIDIA, we're on that. So NVIDIA, your max should be 500 shares and your 25% should be 125 if you're just doing your PDT to the limit, So 125 to enter. Tesla, it's only 50 to enter, and then 250 max. And then Hood, 200 shares with 800 max, if you were following the rules that I set up for myself. So that's a big if there. You can see I was trading this yesterday with intraday levels. So I'm going to clear that drawing set right now. I am a huge proponent of intraday levels. I find that they work very, very well for me. It helps me call the exact time the stock's going to turn around. You guys see me do that a lot with different trading strategies. It's one of the things that I feel I'm good at, and that's why I'm roughly 90% accurate on all my trades, or maybe a little better sometimes. Okay, here we go. Running out of time here, guys. Let's get these marked out. So Tesla's had a big move, huh? Look at it just go. It's going to be hard to trade this without just using intraday levels, in my opinion. Fib is picking up this stuff like friggin' clockwork. Look at that channel. This would have been a great day in here to trade, here or here, in between the fibs. This one stayed in between them too, and this one did as well. So it looks like it's still breaking up, breaking upward. That would probably be a level right here. It looks like it hit here a few times, then respected it in the post and pre-market. I don't want to just start a level at post-market, but if something open session shows me, other than that, that's it. There's nothing else to do here on this one. And then we go to Palantir. Let's get a quick look at that. a stock I don't do well with. It looks like the 10-day is still marked correctly. 5-minute 10-day, that level would hold here. This is yesterday. It's not marked, so this would be, if it ever gets up here again, that's a potential. The fibs are picking up those. This fib is picking up this beautifully. Let me just take a quick look at the 5-minute here, 2-day. Make sure that's all set. No, it is not. So this one is, yeah, so 81. So this is 8106. Now, if you are using the Fibonacci levels for just about anything else but a support and resistance strategy, you would not want to mark them the way I mark them. So that's something to keep in mind. I mean, they're not designed to be used that way. It doesn't mean you don't have to do it. I mean, so let's go to AMD. Now on this one, Palantir, you would have 125 quarter position, 500 max shares if you're just doing your 25,000 PDT. On AMD, it's only 125 shares, just like NVIDIA, and 500 shares max. So I'm going to try to remember that and stick to that exactly like I called it to you guys. Wow, what a mess here. I think I'm actually just going to start again. All right. Where's our 10-day? There's our 10-day. 186.60. I think I corrected that so many times that it was just like ridiculous. Close enough. 80. Come on. My mouse is just so sensitive. I can't get it to do it right. So that's 80. And this one's 86.60. Okay. So there's our 10-day. Here's our 2-day. This one might be one that I actually trade today, so I'm really going to set this up perfectly. As we run out of time. So historical data. I've got this zoomed in. This is definitely one I'm going to want to pick right here. How does that go? That didn't respect it at all yesterday. Oh, look at that. Just breezed right through it. So that's not particularly good. That one it respected. See how it hit it there? So that level's probably better. And then maybe we'll pick up this one below the fib in case it gets back up there. That's pre-market. Did this get respected at all? Kind of. If I smoothed it. Kind of, you know, some here almost, smoothed it here. I mean, that's just a backup level, which is really 171. Even in half dollars, guys, remember that. What about right there? In the moment, if you were trading that right then, you would have said, you would have thought to yourself, I'm so glad I had that marked. You know, but I don't know. I mean, it's pretty weak, really. I mean, it did come back down here and tap it. Look at that. So you never know. Historical data, you never know. It's a crapshoot, so you got to get ready to disregard them, you know, respect them till you don't, kind of thing. Was that the 10-day I had open? No, I wouldn't do anything else. I have to decide what I'm going to trade at the open. And I think I'm going to go NVIDIA. I think it has the best news. So for a potential breakout at the open. So I'm going to get ready to trade that at my quarter, which is 125 shares. It's already going up. Looks like people took profit, and then see if once it goes through that breakout level, it's also a open strategy for day trading volume 4. So we'll keep an eye on that. That would be a spot to jump in for sure. So I can do a combination of trading the open strategy and just being long biased on a mega cap. We have a minute and a half. Yeah, I would definitely go in as it broke that level, guys. That's what I would do. If it breaks that open strategy number 2 from the book, that's the 30-minute breakout, I would go in long there. I would hesitate to go in short. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that 33, 83, 33, right? So I'll take it at 30. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there in case it springs up. You saw how that dealt with me the other day, where I pushed enter and then it picked me up like $1.50 high or something. So I'm going to start trying to use this more. Charlie really uses the ladder a lot, so I commend her for that. I find it like slow, sort of, so I haven't been doing it, but let's see if it breaks that. I'm a little bit below it for the breakout of that. And I may hold into the move. I may hold a little longer because of the long bias here. But what happens if it spikes down? At least it won't pick me up. Unless it picks me up, then spikes down. There we go. So now it's tempting to go short off of that level. But there's the buy-sell oscillator saying no. A market magnet, I would worry about trusting it to a little deeper in. There's the momentum kicking off. I put that new indicator in. And it is useful in the opening here. So and we'll get to the consolidation as we move on here this morning. Some of the stuff I'm talking about doing next month is starting later so that we can really do the consolidation strategy. It's really hard in that first half hour. So nothing. We got nothing. Anticlimactic here. Really hasn't even dropped $1 off of its open. Let me see what's going on. Tesla's, Hood's going up. AMD looks like it's going down. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird market action. See, this is the problem with mixed reports from the White House. It's like stuff that should work just doesn't work anymore. Wow. So in a bit, I'm going to get rid of that, but I'll hold it for now. Let's wait for the turnaround and see if it picks it up. And then it might really take off, you know. I guess my first thought would be at the ATR could be a profit-taking spot, which would only be, I'd be over $1 up, right? Yeah. What have we got that at? 183.30. Yeah, that's almost $1 up. So that would be a good trade if we got out at the ATR and didn't get over greedy if it happens to pick it up. Right now, it's not showing signs of that. So I'm just going to hold it on the ladder. Stuff's shaking out now. So this is a story. He's tried to slow China development. He may have hurt NVIDIA instead. So the market is emotional, guys. Trade with the crowd. You can see the whole and half dollar lines have opened up here, which are really handy to have. So, wow, it's going down today. I'm glad I didn't just jump in long. Still a little too soon to tell if it's certainly too soon to tell if that's the bias, but it is surprising that it's that far, going that far down. I mean, that for this long, many minutes. You know, this is the 4th minute now. A lot of people read that news is totally going to go short today. You know, everybody has their opinion. Okay, and it won't let me grab it. I'm trying to pull this 15-minute chart up, and it won't let me grab. I've gone too low. Here we go. Is it going to be our turnaround, or is it just going to be a boring stock to watch? I got a lot of levels marked here. Some of you that don't understand the strategy are like, what are you doing? Well, clearly, this level, well, I don't know. I was going to say this level it kind of respected, but this one it did nothing with, unless it stops here. Yeah, this is so, I'm going to get rid of this one. It's so close to the fib, too. Just, it's going to consolidate right here and just do nothing. We'll have to, this is what I end up doing a lot when we get together and trade right at the open. And that's why I want to trade a little later, because really, like the RV strategy in day trading volume 1, it's, you need to wait for the consolidation channels to form. This is too soon to even call that, but it might be where it ends up between the fib and this $0.25. You know, with the half dollar being a sort of a fail-safe level. But yeah, it's getting to be, what's the point on this, holding this trade, you know? So that's at 83.30. Oh, so that's quite a ways up there. Yeah, I have it up there because that would signify the breakout for an upward trend. So that's what the book talks about and why you wait for the breakout. You don't trade in between. This would have been a go short, and you would have already taken your profit probably at this fib level. So you would have, if you followed the strategy just to show you how it would have worked for you, 82.40 down to 81.80. You would have got, you know, almost 60 cents on that move, just by following the strategy on that fib, right? Then you go in again here off the fib, and you would have got it either on the half dollar or the whole dollar. 2 winning trades right here. This one, you have to be breaking the next level, and it has to be a red candle, so you wouldn't have taken that trade. This one, you could have taken the trade on the upswing and gotten out here. This one would have been potentially, no, because you've entered here. So yeah. This one would have been a winning trade. So you would have had one sort of maybe not a trade and 3 winning trades as you trade the open strategy, just so you know. So you should, if you don't have that book already. But yeah, clearly this is not, I'm not going to hold this for a breakout in 15 minutes from now. So I'm going to just get rid of it. I'm out of that order. And I've lost confidence in trying to figure out what these things are going to do, frankly. Let me see if I can grab this down here. It's not going to let me grab it. Seriously? I guess I don't need it that bad. I could open another one and just get rid of that. There's probably a really easy way to fix this that I'm not focusing on right now. But let's take a look at some of the others. So Hood was one of the ones that was a possibility today. It went straight up. For those of you trading Hood, you're very happy right now if you jumped on that move. Let's see what that looks like. I'd like to have it biased but consolidating. So let's look to see if it is consolidating here for us at all. So on this one, you can go up to 200 shares on your opening trade if you're staying within. So we've got an ATR right here, which is great for a floor. So I like that. Even dollar just broke right down here. I don't know how strong I should take that, how much stock I should take in that 117.42 level. Right there. That's a pretty good looking level actually, guys, to go short off of. So, but I want to play it long biased, so I'm going to take a trade here and see if it gives me an opportunity. I'll try this one out. 200 shares. Long biased on this. We don't have enough confirmation of anything yet. So we're about to enter the 11th minute. This is the 10-minute mark right here. 5 minutes are seeing, everybody's seeing green. There you go. So maybe we can take a dip here off this as it goes down. Yeah, and I'm forcing a trade right now. It's just not enough consolidating action for me to take a trade here. So for your safety and mine, we are waiting. Target going up is 39. Target going down is 21. I would definitely take a long off the ATR. But it may not get that far. I'm looking at this action right now, and it's not, well, that's not bad. It's at least 10 cents, every 1 or 2 seconds. So that's not bad. That's $20 on 200 shares. Wow. So now it could just keep going down. So I'm definitely taking a chance here as it hits the even dollar mark or the 40 cent. Below that is the 40 cent is the ATR. Oh, looks like it's not going to complete its move down. It's going to stop above the ATR. So I'm looking near that ATR. I'm biding my time. Get it closer to the ATR level, or at least the $0.50 right above it. It keeps giving me a chance to get out if I got in without even waiting for it to see if it keeps, if it turns around. Missed it. Waited too long. But this is a good sign to trade it consolidating it, It's a good sign the way it's moving. But I missed that move down there. It's made a nice tweezer move here. Almost got in, and I was just like, wait a little longer. So this is good, though. This is good retracement action. So let's see if we get it a short off this level up here, or the $0.50 perhaps. Again, I'm long biased, so I got to be careful. It could just take off here. Really wish I would have grabbed that down there. Next fib's way up there at 118.43, a whole $1 away. It stalls. If it stalls here again, it's really good news. Now remember, that was marked off of yesterday's level. Look, and it kept stopping there. Oh, there it goes. Hit it to 50 cent. Backed it off on the ask. Not the rap star. 50 cent. 50 cents. I'm just waiting it out for a better trade here. I don't want to get pushed into it because everybody's in a hurry. All right, I was short off 118 now. For a brief move. Keep looking here because, You want it back and forth enough that if you've made a mistake, you can get out for 10, 15 bucks. It's giving you a chance, that it's like, okay, it is going to keep going long, but look, it retraced a second, get out, It's just a skill in scalping that you learn by watching the swale a little bit when you don't have the indicators. Now we do have the support and resistance levels, and the $1.5, but we're not getting, it's too early in the day to get some indicator action here. I don't want to chase it, so I'm not going to go long, even though I do think it could go. I just don't want to chase it. I want to get it on a dip and then go long. So how far did it dip before? That's 60 cents. It's 80 cents. That's a big position to have 200 shares in if it goes all the way back down. And then you got to make the call. Is it going to keep going? Is it going to bank off the ATR? So think about if it went against you before you take the trade. Like, just say in your mind, this is what's going to happen. Can I handle this? And if you can't, then wait. Wow, it's respecting that line, guys. So it had a breakout there. So that's yesterday's high pivot, or one of the pivots from yesterday that it tapped 3 or 4 times. So there's something at that 117.50 level that a lot of people are respecting. All right, I'm waiting for a bigger dip. I'm just going to be patient here. Play it long bias, look for a dip. Maybe the 117 might be the best I can hope for. Try to get it. It tagged it for $16.99. Tagged it for a second, and then it didn't pick me up. So every second that it takes to get there is concerning, so I'm going to get out. Only because it could be really pounding by the time I get back there again and just fly right by it like that. There we go, 92. So that was a good trade for a second. It was like 30 bucks. I'm going to hold it there for a minute for a swale up. It keeps showing that it's going to go up, so let's see. I don't know what would have happened if I just flattened or sold market, if it would have slipped enough to hurt me, actually be red, because I thought about it when I hit the 34, but it seemed like it was just going to fly right up, so I held it. We're at the magnet. There's some green. Look at that from the bottom. That's going to hit it. See it go? There it goes. So 2 seconds, I'm out. Go. Boom. There we go. 42 bucks. So that was good. So being patient there worked out. We got our first trade. I'm reassessing now. I would buy that dip again, guys, but of course we have to look at the overall data here and see. So it didn't make a bull flag. It broke halfway. Still the same good news on it. Still playing at long bias. We're at the magnet. Now you can start respecting this magnet for sure. Our 50% level's way down here, which you could test. It's also got an ATS. It's got a lot of stuff that stops it from going down. A lot of historical data. So now I'm keeping my share size low for everybody. Everybody should be able to trade this. This is only 25% of what you should be able to afford if you've made the PDT. So here's our multi-chart alignment here as well as here. Actually, I didn't realize I had it on this chart. I think I'm going to take it off of it. That's oh, I see. I picked the one that I don't want to take it down right now. I picked this one with the labels by mistake. Ooh, there we go. So that's, yeah, I'll try it. I got it there again. It's the same logic as before. It looked like it was going to retrace, and we got a quick little trade out of it. Not quite as confident this time, but should have been actually more confident because that's a reversal sign right there. I should have stuck in that trade a little longer, but oh well. I was looking at the stupid indicator that I had the wrong one, and I wasn't thinking about the move. So let's wait for a dip again. And, you know, I will take shorts, but I'm not as confident about them. So there's a lot of retracement that could happen here. So on this dip, I might wait a little longer because it keeps pounding here. See how many times it's hit it. So it might be a breakdown. So let's take a pause at doing the same trade over and over. Yeah, it got a little lower on us. So it hit that line. Let me take a look at that 81 level. So here's the 81 level. That level looks stronger, frankly. This is a little older, and it didn't really respect it much, so I'm not as thrilled about that level. Let's see what happens with it today. Well, it respected it for a second. So enough people have that level that, you know, but now it's starting to do a longer retracement. So we're going to wait this out just in case it goes all the way back and decides that it's not going to go long today. So we need it to pound a bit more. So they actually held it. Look at it, held it. Went a little further, but it held it. So we're trading the hood. Since it doesn't say Robinhood, I always think of the milk, of course, but or ice cream. My downfall. Going to another outdoor concert this week, which should be fun. Okay, how low do I go here? There's the 50 cent. I wait for it to hit the, it's going to turn around this ATR. So I strongly believe it. I'm going to grab it there. So, and hope that it doesn't just dive on me here. Taking a smaller victory because of the way the level 2 is acting, which is a little not in my favor. If it picks me up. Swaling up, and boom. No, oh, there we go. So it did stop at the ATR, but it showed signs of not stopping, so I got cold feet. Got another, okay trade. I'd like to see some of that so we can trust this. Hit it, turn around, and hit it maybe. Go back up with it. Something's turning this around. Yeah, so we got to be careful here. How are we doing elsewise? Oh, Nvidia's still going down. So all apparently the chip news isn't good the way it's being read. Apple's kind of staying steady on the Musk suing news. Amazon's gone down. That's a new one that hit the scanner up there. And Tesla has gone down too. So everything's kind of going down. Well, the market does show down on the market pulse. So you guys should get that if you don't have that. It tells you really quick without opening a zillion charts. So we have the buy-sell oscillator twice telling it to go back up. And down 116 would be the next spot to potentially take a swale up. Yeah, we have nothing else down there for a long time to support it. That ATR seems to be respecting it, man. That's the RV strategy ATR from Day Trading Volume 1, which is half of it computed based on the previous day's close. I'd like to see some retracement up now before we keep kind of playing these levels. We need it to make sure it's consolidating and not just dropping straight down. I mean, I'm picking it up on the movement, which is great that it gives you a chance if you're wrong. But we really would, want it to play the channels correctly, not just fade off of each move. See how it's just stair-stepping down off of this level. We need to reconfirm the upper levels here, or I'm going to switch stocks here. So I'll give it another minute or two and see if it can get it up here to reconfirm something for us. It's holding strong at the ATR, but it could be about to be a breakdown. So, which means that I'm done with this stock if it breaks this level. For now, anyway. Here we go. Let's get some movement back up so people have some confidence. The buyers didn't even get to the top of the volume there. The sellers, even though it was less volume, told you that they were all confident in turning it around. Right here, we're almost even money here. Target's way longer short than long right now because of these big candles over the last 9 candles. See, this is breaking down. See that? It tried to go up, volume dropped, and it's going down instead. If it breaks that ATR, we are parting ways. I'm breaking up with Hood. Taking my ring back, which would be the plastic thing around the milk bottle cap. Yeah, if nothing else, it's getting kind of too boring to trade right here. So I would love to play this level if it showed me signs of, moving up at all here. But right now, it's like you're playing this level and you better be going short. And I'm like long bias, so I'm worried about changing my bias based on this very short-term move. No new stories since 7:30 a.m. Wow, it's just sitting here. There it goes. There's the breakdown. Yep, I knew it was going to happen. All right, guys, so I'm going to look for, let's take a look at Apple because that's actually going up. Now on Apple, it's only 100 shares max for the quarter position. Ooh, that looks good on the 5-minute. Let's see. Like it went down then retraced up. That's kind of the stuff we're looking for. Let's see how it looks on the 1-minute here. I see no levels here. I see ATR. Did we not set up? Yeah, there's a fib. Okay. We have no historical data here. That should have been marked. Okay. Let's mark that. This is really the only day. Let's get this right. How much smooth? Yeah, it's smooth from here and then smooth across there. Hit there again. That's kind of weak. No, that's pretty much it. Well, let's see. What did that do? Did it do anything? No. That's it for the historical data in this area. A little bit of something anyway, but not too much to go on. This is some good stuff here if we can get a hold of it. So that went from the $0.50 down to the whole dollar. Oh, let me get this down to 100 shares. So it's sticking around the 228 pretty consistently here. Now that is a evening star turning it around, almost an abandoned baby. That's a pretty strong downward reversal, which it did already. That's in the candlestick pattern playbook, guys. It rates the pattern, so you should get it. I have a link to it. That's my favorite pattern book. Let me just see how this is moving. 6 cents, 8 cents. That's 10 cents. 10 cents, 12 cents. Okay, it's moving enough. It's not gonna. We're not gonna make as much money with only 100 shares, but you guys can trade whatever share. I'm trying to stick to the 25%. And there's the top of the market magnet. You can see the MACD, which is a great indicator as well. Sent it up. It went up. And then the buy-sell oscillator. Actually, that's the risk oscillator that sent it down. Yep. So let's see if we can get some support down at the 27.50. It breaks it down. So look at the 5-minute. We're kind of going down to the lower levels here to play it long. Wow, that stock is soaring after earnings. You're a momentum trader. You're on that one. You can get FOMO pretty easy trading consolidation. The idea is that day by day, get that 100, 200, 400, 500. Before you know it, you have $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 a month just putting your hour and a half in, maybe 2 hours. Relaxing. Don't get over stressed about it. Keep to your daily routine. Exercising, meditation, whatever you do, and then enjoy your life because you're making enough. Like particularly good strategy for people who have some money and they're retired and their Social Security, even with their wife, they're maybe making 4 to 5K, but they need 10, 12, or 15 to make it, or they're negative. Now they hopefully have long-term investments that are giving them some of that money. Wow, look at that. So that was an interesting looking breakdown to grab. I could have already got it and then I would have made the money. I'm going to actually go in it there. Did I get it? At 44, I tried. There it went. So risky because it is breaking down. So I'm hoping that it's just a dip and we're going to ride it up. So we're right here at the 20 level would have been sort of where that other level marked it. I kind of like to get a double digit up, but so $14, a baby move, but it's adding up. The way this is moving, it's going to be hard to make money. Hood was making us some big money faster, with the 200 shares. If I went over to Tesla, I could only go in at 50 shares, and I'm sure that's moving really fast. We might want to take a look at it so we can get to at least 150 in the time that I have with you guys. But if you're patient, you should have 100% accuracy, or at least pretty high. And then with 190 to 100% accuracy, the money will come. Just stick to your max loss, and then you will make that money. But I was saying, like, if you're on a fixed income, this is a fantastic strategy. If you can control yourself, keep your max loss. When you're adding in to 50% of your position, make sure that it's going back in your favor. You're not just adding in to make it get closer to the lower price action. You want it to be turning back around. That's when you add in, even when it's not as good as you could have got it on the dip. Now it's going your way. So it did respect that level again, guys. Look at that. So that's the risk oscillator. This is the buy-sell oscillator, both turning around. But the momentum just said go down, so that's not good. Sometimes these indicators will conflict. Let me get a look at this. I haven't really been close. Try to study the candle action here a little bit on the volume bars. Strongest is on the buy, but it shows more money on the sellers. Hitting the magnet now. That should be a floor. It should be some support there. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, there's the other level is kind of sticking around in between the two. Kind of right there at the 35-cent mark. Just as an intraday support level I just drew, which is, you just watch it and see. Maybe for some reason something's happening at this level, so go ahead and mark it just so you know it's there. But you can't count on it too much. You can't count on anything too much. So this is just falling off now. So the whole market's down. I mean, I didn't really call a bias on Apple. I originally didn't want to trade this because it was both ways. But it seems like everything's acting both ways right now. So Tesla is just going straight down. Surprising, huh? Again, this is not, I need this to retrace up in order to keep wanting to trade this. We need some channel movement. Ceilings, floors, ceilings, floors, ceilings, floors. Something we can grab onto. Or it's just a waste of time sitting here, Yeah, it's breaking down. Although this is coming in, we should pull the magnet up. Oh, it dropped off, but that was the previous price volume action coming in. Sometimes it just hits it. So it hit that same level again. No, I'm getting away from this stock. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Tesla. Wow. So I would say short biased because it told us that already, so that's great. Maybe going up against Apple and threatening antitrust lawsuits isn't a good move for you, Mr. Musk. Yeah, there it is right there. But it says it's rising, but it's not rising. That was prior to the market opening, 720, 721. So people took that right in this area. People took profits, and now it's fading. So we've got to correct this even in $0.50. So you can get in and change this. Oops, not that. Oh, I don't want that either. Hang on a second. I did want this. So let's open that up. Our price actions at 335, call it. So at least now we have it. We have the whole and $0.50 levels to go by. So did I have nothing to mark this out on historical data-wise? Fibs picked them up. This is too weak. Can't pick that up. Okay, 50 shares. It's the max of the 25% for this price of a stock to be in your PDT. The fib has stopped it right now. MACD level based on EMA crossovers is what MACD is, convergence, divergence. It turned it around there too, or told you that it should turn around. And the buy-sell oscillator is based on the RSI, relative strength index. We don't have that here, but the MACD is usually fairly well respected. A lot of people just have it set up at the bottom of their screen like the graphic histogram of it. I find this is tightened for large caps. This is a custom script that I find very helpful. See how it just turned it around. But they're all made for short-term moves, short-term. So I'm going to sell the ask on here if it gets near the 50 cents. Yeah, it did. So I'm going to go ahead and think that it's going to fade right back off again. There it goes. So we go, $19 first trade. So I know we broke 100. Now you could just keep trading this same type of strategy. I know I have nuances that a lot of you don't understand yet, but you'll start to pick it up. You just, keep your max share size down low and keep your max loss followed strictly that you will go no further. Is it going to turn around here? I don't think so. So I'm going to look for it. There it goes. That got me again. Could have got out for a little bit of money, but I was holding for a little bit bigger dip. 50 shares is tiny money here, but it could hurt me pretty fast, so you got to be careful. I don't like the price action. It's definitely going against me on the level 2 as well. So I'd like to get out of this trade on a dip if I get it. I'm just gonna take a small amount of money if I have a chance. Yeah, the swale keeps stepping higher each time, which is not a good sign. We need a big dip. Somebody wants to turn this around, and they're not doing it. So this could be my first bad trade. Oh, I'm just going to try to get out there for like a buck. It didn't pick me up. There we go. I don't trust it. Yeah, there it goes back up. It was definitely swaling upward. So, now that I'm out, it feels safe to turn around. I don't know. So yeah, that would have been in a worse position here by 50 cents or something. So let's get another look at this and just see. Kept my 100% rating there with $1.50 or something. But now we're getting a couple. There's an Evening Star, Doji, Rickshaw Man. Okay, so that's a reversal sign. We came up to the 14. This is the 9 moving average. This is the 20 up here. So that level, 336, also the even dollar, could have been where it wanted to turn us around. So let's see if that's what's going to happen here. I'm not going to jump on a falling knife, though. I'm going to just trade the same way I've been trading here. Short bias, so a little terrified of going long. This short bias. Now, I'm in a mentality of doing very short scalps. This is not an RV strategy mentality where I hit a reverse, make big money. It's a different strategy, guys. I keep getting like, why aren't you trading the way you trade with the RV? It's a different strategy. Learning how to do short-term scalps is the key to everything. Once you can do this, you can trade any strategy. So 335, let's just make sure I'm just going to mark a level there for a possible buy on a dip. But I worry about going long still. I'd be more inclined to go short off a level up here. It is trying to turn it around, though. That fib's hitting it. I don't think we've made our 150 yet, but we could be close. Let's see, what were the other stocks? Did we trade? We traded Hood. So we have 20 plus 85, so that's 105. Amazon, that's 119. Did we trade NVIDIA too? No, we didn't. Okay, so we only have 119, so I have a little ways to go. I had to check just to see, but I'm getting short on time here, so. Just to see, trading the 50 shares is, I'm thinking I want to go into half my position because I would have made the money already. I'm trying to stick to something I'm telling you guys to do, though. I mean, look, you take your own trades, as you know, but wow, I missed that drop off, so I'm glad I didn't go long. Short bias, guys, yeah, short biased. Can we get a movement up and then go short again? This could drop all day. Tesla's a weird stock. A whole nother animal. Going up to the 334, which is way past just a second ago. It was all the way up. It was stalling at 335. So we're a whole dollar off that level. There's the low of day, and there's your ATR low right there on the RV strategy. So we need this to retrace up a bit, or it's dangerous. Wow, it's definitely showing it's going down. So I'm going to look for a little bit of a pop and try to ride it short. It's just dropping. Again, you're chasing a fallen knife here. You got to be careful. All right, I'll give it a shot. Okay, pick me up. Let's try to get a little bigger move down if we can. This will be the time it chooses to go straight back up. As you can see. I had like a small profit, and I was trying to get to our minimum there. Thinking about going into half my position as it starts to head back my way. Thinking about it, not doing it, just thinking about it. Definitely forced this trade. I shouldn't have done it. I was getting impatient. That fib going to turn it around. Broke to 335, went up. I mean, we're not talking big money here, but it's more like a contest, so we want to get it right. 50 shares. Wow. So it's definitely hurting me now. 80. It's going to make me work to get my money today, get to 500 later, if it doesn't turn around soon. I wouldn't think about adding till it gets on its way down below 335, then I might go in half, but this is not the time. I hope this stalls it here. At least the 336 doesn't blow through that. I'll have to sell the bid if it drops to get into it. It's hurting me now. It's taking away all my profits from all my trades. I'm still fairly confident it's going to go back down. Short bias, so I'm not too overly worried yet, but every time it keeps chipping upward, it's slightly concerned. Make sure you keep to your max loss, guys. You just okay, so it's fading a little bit. Level 2 showing a turnaround. Could just be brief though. Plus it's holding me hostage for this very slow climb. Looking for it to break to 335 to go into half my position. That's close enough. I'm going to go ahead and get in there. So I'm at 34.55 with 100 shares now. Hoping that the fib isn't going to stop it. We're looking for a retracement. Give it a minute. Or a fall back off, a dip, whatever you want to call it. Full position would be 200 shares. Thinking about it a little bit, but just be patient, guys. Obviously, mind your max loss, but be patient. Momentum's driving it down. That's what that brown arrow is. That's another way to read your level 2. If you didn't pick up that level 2 indicator I custom just did, that's pretty handy too. Now I could just get out with a paper cut here, but I'm still trying to get a good trade here. But that is not a good sign. Yeah, it hit the fib, and that when I saw that pattern, I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Yep, I saw that coming. Don't tell all the 5-minute people that you want to turn around. We want this candle to be below that candle. Then when the 5-minute people jump in, they'll jump in short rather than long. That's right at this mark here. Your spread's up to 10 cents, so you definitely want to buy the bid. So I'm going to hold that for a bigger move down. I'll take that. You get me? Didn't get me. Swale down. There's a swale down. Boom. Come on. That's twice now. It should have picked me up. There you go. Okay. So I do believe we made the 150. And hopefully you guys were able to wait out that move, because it is still going down. So it hasn't been hit as low. But now I did think about it, just so you know, I'm kind of doing my analysis now. As we broke down through this fib, as I was at 35.50. No, was it 34.55? Yeah, 34.55, right? As we broke down, I thought about going full position here, because then when I got out, it would have been double that at least. So I didn't do it. I didn't want you guys to do it for sure. It was just not it was not as foolproof as I thought. But you know, again, the 5-minute. This is going to. I'm not going to take another trade, because I'm going to head on to the next trading session. But my thought would be, yeah. So the 5-minute people are going to jump in, because this dropped below here, so this is going to keep going down a little bit longer. I wish I would have said that quicker for you guys, but you know, this is going to go down a bit. You already got your move if you jumped in right as it crossed over, because they saw red over here on the 5-minute. So everything's going down. It looks like an easy way to make money here on this stock, but as you trade it throughout the day, just be careful watching it. Okay, guys, I'm going to get this video out besides just being on the stream. And I hope you're following along and doing good. So, yeah, we will be slowly changing the strategy into something a little different. But I hope it's been working pretty well for you so far. Okay, so always stay inquisitive, guys, and go green out there. And I'll see you tomorrow.